Lily, I'm Blue. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Today I am doing 4 looks with the Terra Cosmetics summer collection and eye swatches, arm swatches, all the swatches. So if you'd like to see how I got this look, 3 others, and all the swatches, then just keep on watching. Let's do a fun look. I felt like being extra. This is given very editorial, very girly, very cute. So, my latest prime with the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas in Fair. And I'm going to start out with the Midwinter Dream palette, the Brittany Huffman and Inslee Rain collection. This palette is beautiful. I'm going to take the shade Frigid with the Makeup Shack T66 brush. And what I'm going to do with Frigid is I'm just going to pop that onto that outer outer V of my eye, but I'm not going to take it all the way out. I'm going to take it to about where my lash line ends, and I'm just going to pop it on, and then I'm going to make kind of like a half C shape and take it to about the center of my crease. I'm really just trying to get that on there, and I'm not super worried about blending it right yet. Just want to get my shape worked up here. So I'm just packing that on. I'm just going to do a little baby blend back and forth. About like that. I'm going to switch over to the Cosmic Wonder palette and into the shade Soeli, which is a beautiful dark pink. And I'm going to take it into the crease from the inner portion of my eye. And I'm just going to work that up and connect it with Frigid. About like that. And I'm going to take a little bit more of Frigid to connect it because I don't feel like I took it far enough, which is kind of normal. I just play around with the shades. I'm sorry, I'm so tired. It's like almost 10 p.m. I took a little nap earlier is why I'm filming kind of late, because I meant to start this at like 6 p.m. but I dozed off until almost 7 and was like, oh no. I rarely ever nap. So that was very, like a nice little treat. Alright, it's given very pretty galaxy, but like super cute. I mean, the galaxy, like pictures of the galaxy is beautiful. But yeah, so that's what it's kind of making me think of so far. I'm going to clean off this brush because I really don't remember if I cleaned it off or not. It took me like 20 to 30 minutes to get all the butterflies and gems on, so I don't remember. But this is the Makeup Shack T14 brush, and I'm going to go ahead and start to diffuse Frigid. Gently, gently, gently. Very light pressure. And back and forth motions. And just got that nice and diffused. And I will go back into Frigid to touch it up here just a little bit. I'm just going to clean that one off real quick to get Soeli blended out. I love halo eyes. I used to hate doing them. I felt like, I mean, they do kind of take a little while, but I feel like they're adorable. So they're, to me, worth the time and the effort, because I feel like they're super cute. Okay, now I'm going to take Skadi and just start to gently pat that right where we left off with Frigid, where it is diffused. Just a little pats. And then I'm going to just give it a little blend. I'm so excited about this collection. This collection is beautiful. I know I say that every time I get new Terra Moons things, but it's the truth. Everything they come out with is just the most beautiful. And there's something about this collection that gives me like I want to play with it with softer things and just really let them have their moment. I know that the gems and stuff's kind of taken from it right now, but it's cute. I could not help myself. And all of the gems are for Manic Gems, except for the 2 butterflies are right here. Those are not for Manic Gems. My friend Desiree, Slay with Desiree on Instagram, she sent them to me. And I just thought that they would be a cute little addition to add in. And I'm going to take that same brush and Frigid, and I'm just going to pat that on. Oh, y'all. Okay. So, I was looking on Twitter, which I need to stay off Twitter. I get so aggravated with Twitter. Because I don't know how to work Twitter, and then it's just like, people just fighting all the time, and it's just like, eh. Anyway, Unsolved Mysteries popped up on my timeline. I was like, oh cool, I didn't know they had a Twitter page, like whatever. And that made me like think like, oh, and so I went, and they have, I'm late to the game, I want to say they released a new season. And I love Unsolved Mysteries. It's very, very good to help, I feel like, get the word out about cases to help try to solve them, right? But on their Twitter, they were saying about they had a podcast, and I was like, so while I was doing this I have just been listening to the podcast, and there's so many things that I never heard of, and it's like, oh. But anyway, so just a little ramble about what I've been listening to. I've taken 2 of the Terra Cosmetics matte shades and put them in a little quad palette so that I didn't have to just keep moving my big palette. I'm going to take these shades, and this is a very bright, beautiful pink. It is called Terra. So that's what I'm going to blend out Soelly with. I'm going to take that T14 brush, and I'm just going to start to give it a little blend. Look at how freaking gorgeous that is. That is pink too. I had a Red Bull earlier, so I'm just like wanting to bounce off the walls even though I'm like really sleepy. Just like, no, I needed nothing. Alright, so I'm going to go back into Soelly and touch that up real quick. Just add that into the crease and blend it with Terra. It's so cute. Okay, so there's also a cutesy little purple in my little mini quad here, and it is from Terra Cosmetics as well. It is called Star Crazy, and it's like a pastel purple. It's so cute. So that's what I'm going to blend out the purple side with, and that's one of my favorite things about doing like a halo eye is I love to do like split color ones, but sometimes I really enjoy doing just like a regular full-on monochromatic one, but I feel like the multicolored ones are a lot of fun. I always enjoy doing these kinds. I'm just gonna blend that out. Give it a little big blend. And I'm just going to go into Skiddy to bring it back. I'm just going to gently pat that in. Just little pats. The Makeup Shack have some of my favorite brushes. I also like the dough color brushes. I want to say it was year before last. They had sent me a package with their tropical palette, which the purple and that I wasn't vibing with, so I don't really reach for that palette, but the brushes are really good. And I've also had some of their super dramatic lashes and loved them too, but the Makeup Shack's brushes are like so good. And I'm gonna go back into Frigid and just blend that in, just patting it down. I'm just going back and forth with it. I know, as soon as I said I was patting it, I started moving it back and forth like, Julie, what are you doing? You're saying one thing and doing another. Alright, I'm going to use the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Blends palette and go into the shade Sunsets, which is a gorgeous pastel pink. And that's what I'm going to blend out the pink side with. I'm going to take that Makeup Shack T14 brush. I just cleaned it off. And I'm going to get it and just start to blend out the pink. I'm going to switch over to the Makeup Shack T63 brush. It's a more fluffier brush. I really like it. And I'm going to go into Cream and Sugar, which is the white in the blends palette. And I'm just going to start to kind of really soften this blend up. I love doing this because I feel like it really just kind of pulls the look together. And I'm going to just blend out all these shades with it. And I will go back in and touch them up because I will lose a little bit of the pigment. But that's okay. I always like to say blending is repetitive, but it's worth it. Alright, so I'm going to take a little bit of Sunsets on that same brush. And just kind of bring it back. And I'm going to clean that brush off. And switch back over to that Makeup Shack T14 brush. I keep dropping everything! And I'm going to go back into Star Crazy from my little quad palette here. And I'm going to bring it back. A little too much. I'm going to start to bring it back. Touching it all up. And I'm going to take a little bit more of Terra to bring it back. And a little more of Swelly. Alright, so what I'm going to do is take some micellar water on a Q-tip and clean off my lid and then carve it out with some Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas and Fair. So now that my crease is all carved out, what I'm going to do is go into Frigid again, and I'm going to take that Makeup Shack T66 brush, and I'm just going to start to apply it to the edge of that base. Just gently drag it onto the lid. And I like to go over the side of my nose while I do this because I feel like it helps me to get it more even. And if there's anywhere that I accidentally took the base up too high, I can go over and just kind of like bring that shade back and kind of fix it. Alright. So I'm going to go into Swelly and do the same thing. I'm going to start from the outer corner of my lid, but I'm also going to connect it. And really the goal here is to make it look like the eyeshadows are giving your eye a nice little hug. So I'm just kind of taking it and gently dragging it over, and I'm leaving a little bit of it exposed so that when I add the shimmer, it gives it that halo effect. And I'll take a little bit more of Frigid and bring it in a little further. I'm so sorry, my camera cut off. I took a little bit more of Star Crazy. That was the lightest purple that I took to blend everything out, and I just blended it with Frigid and drug it over a little bit more. So I'm going to take a little bit of Sunsets from the Blends palette and do the same thing on the pink side. So I'm just taking that flat brush, the Makeup Shack T66 brush, and I'm just going to pat it right where it's diffused and just drag it over just a little bit. And that way it's a nice gradient blend. I'm trying so hard to speed run this because I'm excited to put on sparkles. Alright. It is time. I will be taking Ultraviolet. And I tell you, as soon as I saw this one, I was in love. It's so pretty. And then that's going to be on the purple side. On the pink side, I'm going to have the shade Star Formation, which makes my heart flutter. It's beautiful. And for the center bit, I'm going to use Halo of Stars. The iridescent, the shift, it's so pretty. It's beautiful. And for my inner corner highlight and my brow highlight, I'm going to take Titania. So pretty. The iridescent ones, I was just like, my jaw was like trying to hit the floor. So I'm going to take this Cliona DF04 brush and Ultraviolet. Why did I say it like I'm so like aggressively like, no, I'm like excited. And I'm just going to start to drag it from Star Crazy on. I'm going to bring it down towards that lash line. And I'm going to bring it in a little bit. I'm not going to take it up very far, because right here on this blank space, I want to add the iridescent shade. Isn't it beautiful? Now time for some pink sparkles. And just look at that. Oh my gosh. It's like, I'm always so obsessed with things that Terra Cosmetics comes out with, but it's like, I'm always just like, with everything that they do. Like, I literally can't get over how dreamy this is. It's so pretty. Okay, so now for the iridescent sparkle. I'm so excited. Just look at that. That, it gives me like hot pink vibes. Like, it looks like hot pink, but like the perfect sparkle. I don't know. I'm just like, ah. And I'm not even like that big on like playing with pink eyeshadow, but I was like, well, because I did a little baby swatch, and I was like, oh yes, definitely need to add some pink today. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, I love. I'm gonna take a little bit more ultraviolet and bring it up a little bit more and over just a little bit. And a little bit more of that pink. That shifty goodness. Now these formulas are amazing. I always feel like they always are though. Alright. I'm excited. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start to add the gems and stuff. Well, I'll do the wing liner bit first. And then I'll just let the camera go until it runs out while I'm adding the gems. Because it'll be really repetitive. And I do it the same way. I just take some lash glue. And then I kind of line where I'm going to put everything. Start putting the things. Add more glue. I was a little nervous about adding like the glue to my eyebrows. But it's fun. So, for the liner, I'm going to use the Lashing Out Glam Dimensions Graffiti Liner in the shade Fantasy. And I'm going to take a long liner brush from Amazon. And I'm going to try to do it good. Alright, I'm gonna go add some gems. Alright, so this is the finished look. What do you think? It is so extra. My camera looks like it's out of focus. I hope not. But it's so extra, and I'm living. So I had to put in my little butterfly hair clips. I had to put in my butterfly earrings. I'm really excited about how this one turned out. And I'm really excited to get started on the next look. So I'll see you in just a second. Look number 2, which is probably like, this is like my third one. I don't know, but it's a look. So let's get started. I'm going to start out with the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Lure Palette. It is absolutely beautiful. I feel like I use this one all the time. I'm going to take the Makeup Shack T66 brush, and I'm going to make sure I have it cleaned off because I was just using it, and then it's one of my, I use it for just about every shades brush, so I just need to make sure it's nice and clean. My lid is primed with the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas in Fair, and I am talking so fast. I'm sorry. I'm just excited to get into this. So with that Makeup Shack T66 brush, I'm going to take Tentacles from the Lure palette, which is the darkest purple. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to kind of build up my shape. So I'm just kind of stamping this down and taking it towards that outer corner of my eye and giving it like a baby wing, but I don't want it to be like super sharp because I'm going to go in and touch that up here in a little bit. And I'm just really going to focus this on that outer V and bring it onto the lid just a little bit. Now this look is, I feel like it's fairly easy. It didn't take me very long at all. There's no cut creases, which I was like, oh, okay. I always get happy when there's something that like looks like it took a lot of time, but it really didn't. So I was like, yes. It's, in my opinion, really cute. So I'm just gonna bring Tentacles down onto the lower lash line about halfway. I'm just gonna kind of angle it up. Angle it up just a little bit. Not a very sharp wing, but a start. So I'm going to clean that brush off real quick, and then I'm going to go into 332 meters, which is such a beautiful shade. I love the more teal shades in this palette, and the teals in the blends palette. Oh my gosh, Submerge is beautiful, and it makes me think of the song by Movements every time. So with 332 meters, right where I left off with Tentacles, I'm just going to pat it on, and I'm going to take it to about the halfway part of my crease. So not a lot, but just enough to create some depth. And just go back and forth with Tentacles to get it nice and blended together. I'm going to bring that down into the crease just a little bit further. So about like that. Now I'm going to take the Makeup Shack T14 brush in the shade Booty, which is such a cute hot pink. And I'm just going to start to blend out Tentacles with it. And I'm going to extend it a little bit farther than Tentacles. That way it can give that nice little winged, blown out shape. Blend it a little bit with 332 meters. This is where our wing is going to start to form. I'm going to take it down to blend out Tentacles as well. And now I'm going to focus on patting it. And with the Makeup Shack T66 brush, I'm going to take X marks the spot. And where I left off with Tentacles, but I'm going to kind of start from that inner corner of my eye area on the lower lash line. And just bring it over and blend it with Tentacles. And then I'm going to extend Booty to blend that out. Now I'm going to take Sea Nymph and blend out 332 meters. I'm just going to pop that on and move it back and forth, windshield wiper motions with the lightest amount of pressure. Blend it a little bit with Booty. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to extend it a little bit farther. Not too far though, because I have a gorgeous surprise shade, which I don't feel like is a surprise that I've used it because I've hit pan on it. Clean the brush off and I'm going to go into Seafoam. And with Seafoam, I'm going to pop it into the crease, bring it towards that inner corner area of my eye, into the crease towards the bridge of my nose, bring it upwards and blend out Sea Nymph with it. I almost grabbed Lost at Sea. That's not what I meant to do. I'm just gonna bring it over to blend these out just a little bit, and I will go back in and touch them up. Now I'm going to take Baited with the same brush. I just cleaned it off, and I'm going to blend out Booty with it. I'm just taking this brush and going back and forth very gently, and I'm just kind of extending it so it can be a nice and blown out shape. And I'm also going to take this to blend out Booty and X marks the spot. I've cleaned this brush off, and I'm going to go back into Tentacles and start to bring it back by just patting it very gently. And I'm going to just do a little baby blend into Booty. Now I'm going to go back into Booty and bring it back. And I'm just going to do little gentle baby blends. I'm going to go back into 332 meters with the Makeup Shack T14 brush, and I'm going to bring it back. Just get it nice and blended into that crease. Now I'm going to clean that brush off and go into a little bit more of Sea Nymph, and it's so pretty. Just blend through. Oh, baby blender. I'm going to add a little bit more Seafoam. And then I'm going to take this Makeup Shack T60, ooh, not that one. The T63 brush and a little bit of Baited. And I'm just going to soften up the blend on Booty just a little bit. Then I'm going to dip into the Blends palette for Cream and Sugar, the white eyeshadow, to help really diffuse everything. Do y'all ever just like have like a cut on your hand or something? Like maybe like, so when I craft sometimes I'll lose grip on the pliers when I'm trying to get like a bead and like have it on like the eyelet that it goes on to, like, oh, I don't have them on me. But anyway, there's like this little eye bend, and then you can put beads on them, and then you have it, it kind of looks like a needle. So then you take that and you bend it back so that you can have it connected, so you can use it as a connector for like earrings, bracelets, anything like that. Well, this isn't what happened with that. I keep my craft stuff in my table in my living room because it's got the doors on it. The other day, I went to open it and the door got stuck and it like messed up my hand. And like, I've already forgotten that I had it until like, now that I'm doing makeup, every time I grab a palette, it's like hitting it. So do y'all ever get like that? Whenever like you have a sore or something on your hand, you forget it's there, and then all of a sudden, there is just like, something hits it and you're like, oh, you're still here. This is Cream and Sugar, and that same brush, the T63 brush, and I'm just gonna really use it to soften up this blend. And there will be a little bit of a white cast because I'm taking it down pretty far, but whenever I do my base and do my concealer and stuff, that'll help to have that not be as dramatic, because it looks quite dramatic. But this just helps to sharpen up that wing, diffuse it, and make it look so cute. I'm gonna take a little bit of it over here to blend out seafoam. Y'all, I am beyond ready to go to the beach. I don't know when I'm going, but I know that hopefully it'll be soon. I'm gonna jump back into the lure palette and get a little bit more Faded because I lost a good bit of it up here at the top. So I'm gonna just work on bringing that back and bring it down a little bit and a little bit more of Booty. And just look at how beautifully that all blends together. It's almost time for sparkles, I promise. I'm eagerly awaiting the moment. Alright, let's add some sparkles. So before I add my sparkles, what I'm gonna do is find my, I hit it for myself. I'm bad about that. I'm gonna use some Kyla Cosmetics adhesive. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the tube and right where there is just no pigment on my eye, put a little squeeze there, and a little bit goes a fairly long way. And then I'm gonna take my finger and just pat it onto the lid, but how if you were to carve out your crease, about like that. So I'm just running it up through the crease, taking it upwards in the center right here, and then I'm just gonna drag it outwards on the tentacles just a little bit. And then I'm gonna let that set for about 30 seconds so it gets nice and tacky and just dry enough that the shimmers won't just like look like they're stuck down on something that wasn't completely finished drying. Okay, so I'm really, really excited. I'm gonna go into Mystic Mountain, which is just right here. And while it looks like a beautiful purple, but kind of like hot pink, but kind of like green, it's just like, oh, it's so pretty. It doesn't look like interdimensional really, but my brain is like making me think like it kind of reminds me of interdimensional just on that green shift, and that's why I'm just like, I need to add this on my eyes right now. But I'm gonna take my finger before I take my brush, and I'm gonna take this and I'm going to just start to pat it onto the lid and onto the outer bit of my lid here. And I've taken it a little bit too far, but that's alright. So I'm just going to follow the shape of my eye with that. And I'll go in and touch it up with the brush here in a minute. Now I'm going to take Galileo, which is really, really cute. Like, it's kind of like blue, but it has the, like how Milky Way from the spring collection has like those beautiful, very fine glitter, like red glitter shifts to it. This has that as well, and it's beautiful. So I'm gonna take my finger with this and just pop it right on where I took Mystic Mountain farther than I wanted to, and just tap it on. And look at that. I don't even know if my camera is picking up those reflex right now, but it's just stunning. And now I'm going to take Butterfly Nebula. It's so pretty. I'm going to take my finger. I already wiped it off. Get it. And this is like a flaky formula. Kind of like Stellar Apotheosis. I'm still trying to get down how to say that. My husband laughs at me because I ask him all the time. I'm like, how do you say it? It has like that flaky to it. About like Iris and Winter Sun from the spring collection as well. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to pop it onto that inner corner bit of the lid. the inner third. And I'm just going to bring it over. And now it looks kind of wild. So I'm going to take my brush. I'm going to use the Cliona DF04 brush. I don't know what I did with my dough color number 14 brush, but I've been looking for it all day. And I'm like, I miss you. Please come back. So I'm going to take a little bit more of Butterfly Nebula and just bring it up. And I'm going to blend it with Galileo. And I'm going to take a little bit more of Galileo and just blend it with these two shades. I think I want to take my finger again because I've taken the Butterfly Nebula way too far over. That's okay. I don't feel like they have to be perfectly distributed on each eye. So I'm going to take that DF04 brush and a little bit more of Mystic Mountain, and I'm just going to take it and start to drag it to the lower lash line. I'm only going to take it about halfway. Now I'm going to take this beautiful shade. I plan on hopefully doing a look with it either tomorrow or another look tonight. I don't know, I do need to sleep though. But this is WR124. And it reminds me, I feel like I've talked about the crayon that I was obsessed with when I was in preschool, like very hot pink, and it's given that, and I love it. So I'm going to take that with that DF04 brush, and right here on that inner corner of that lower lash line, I'm going to put it up there on X marks the spot, and I'm going to connect it to Mystic Mountain. And it is absolutely divine. I want to do some kind of look with it, like, as soon as possible. It's coming together. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of Halo of Stars, and I'm going to have that be my inner corner highlight. So I'm going to take it, and I'm going to pop it on and blend it into that beautiful pink. Alright, so this is the finished look. What do you think? My hair was still kind of damp because I washed it earlier. So I just thought that space buns would be cute and curl the front pieces here that I always tuck behind my ears. So I always feel like there's no point in me really like styling them. But I like this hairstyle. Anyway, this isn't about the hair. But yeah, what do we think of the colors so far? Which look is your favorite so far? I had originally planned on this being a 4 looks with the collection type of video, but include like swatches on my arms and then like use the About Face matte fluid eye paint in caplets because it's like super close to like neutral enough that when I put like Terra eyeshadows over it, if I'm in a hurry, because I always kind of include them somehow because they're my favorites, I feel like that really kind of helps to show the shift and everything. And yesterday I had filmed, I don't know if it's going to be in front of this in the order that I've already got it going, but the Halo eye I had filmed. That was the second look I did yesterday. The first look I did yesterday, I used this, and I used Hobie and Sun over top of it, and I didn't add lashes. I thought it looked cute, and then I looked at the pictures, and my eyelashes looked like Spidey's. I was like, why? I don't know. But I think what I'm going to do is just kind of include, because it literally just takes me about 5 minutes tops to do like add that and then put the shimmer over. So I might do extra swatches in this. Like the arm swatches and then like every shade individually on the eye. Would that be something? I'm kind of rambling right here, so hopefully editing me will figure it out. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go start the next look, and I'll be right back. I'm going to use the Cosmic Wonder palette, starting with the shade Alara and the Half Caked Beauty 816 crease brush, and pat that shade all over my lid into the crease. I apologize for my voice. After the third look, my voice has just went away completely. I'm so sorry.
the Makeup Shack T14 brush, I'm going to blend out that shade with Chromosphere. I'm dipping back into Allura to bring it back. To soften up the blend, I'm going into it just a phase. It's a single matte from Terra Cosmetics that'll help to soften the blend up. I'm using the same brush. I'm going to diffuse the lightest shade of blue with a white eyeshadow to help make sure that it is a nice and softened blend. And I went back into just a phase just to bring it back a little bit because I did lose some of it, but blending is repetitive, but it's worth it. Sparkle time! So I'm going to take Voyager and apply it to the outer half of my lid. I really fell in love with this color combination with these ones. And on the other half of my lid, I'm adding Alsfina. I felt like these two would pair together very beautifully, and I was obsessed. The more I looked at it, the more I felt like Chromosphere needed touched up, so I just went in and touched it up to make it be a little bit more defined. Now I'm going to doodle some gleams, a moon, and Saturn. So for the first gleam, I'm going to use the Definition Beauty, the mini stencils for a cute little gleam, and I'm going to extend it. You can use any liner that you would like, and it'll work out. But I like to let the liner get dry before I take it off. I do apologize for my voice. I've been sick. My allergies have been awful, and it was just the next day after I did the last look in before I did the neutrals, and when I went to the doctor, she's like, everything's fine, it's just your allergies. So I do apologize. Yeah, so I've been making the joke that I sound like Marge Simpson's sisters to make my parents laugh. I just thought that was funny, so hopefully that can make you laugh too. So for the rest of these that would be voiceovers, I'm just gonna have to not, because my voice is just so bad. So I apologize for that. I will do an updated graphic liner tutorial like this soon when my voice gets better and things that are going on in my personal life kind of calm down a little bit. So I might not have a video up next week, but I'm going to try my very best to. So I apologize for that as well.
So this is the finished look. What do you think? Sorry about the voiceover. It is late. Doing 2 looks in one day is quite time consuming, but I enjoy it. I do have some chores that I need to do. I want to meal prep for the week. I'm starting to try to get back into the swing of meal prepping because I find that that's easier and I like make better choices, so I'm trying to get back into that. And yeah, so I'm, like I said, I'm sorry about the voiceover, but I am planning on adding more into this video than I normally do. And I really don't want this to be like super long, because I know that sometimes super long videos, like attention, I feel like my ADHD brain's just like can't sometimes. I love long form content, don't get me wrong, but if I'm not in the mood for it, then I can't like vibe with it. So I totally understand, like I don't want to make it be entirely too long, but I want to make it like good and like showcase these beautiful shades because I love them so much, and I love Terra Cosmetics. I think that everything that they create is just absolutely dreamy. I love them so much, and their beautiful creations. They're so kind. So I think at this point that I should have about one more look, and then it'll be all the swatches. I don't know where this is going to be in the video, but so far, which one of the looks are your favorite? And I'll see you in just a second. Let's do some doodling and add some sparkles. So I am going to use, for of the Terra Cosmetics matte shades. I put them in the little quad palette. This is so handy. Like, if I'm like, okay, I just want to have a few, because I put all of them into like a big palette and my desk is a mess. I was like, I'll put them here. And I apologize for how my voice sounds. I'm not quite feeling well. I think my allergies are acting up. Like, I have like a allergy cold, so I apologize for my voice. I'm going to start out with Cephas in the Makeup Shack T14 brush. And I'm going to just, oh, my lid's already primed with the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas in Fair. So I'm going to start to pat this on to the outer V of my lid. And I'm going to just do a little baby wing, because I'm going to blend it out. Have it nice smoked out and winged. Sharp. What are words? And I'm just going to start to run this through the crease, back and forth. I'm not super worried about if it's very, very messy right yet, because I just want to get that shape built up. So I'm going back and forth. I'm going to extend it down inwards towards that inner corner of my eye, towards the bridge of my nose. And I am using the lightest amount of pressure. I want to thank y'all for all the love on my Starry Night tutorial. That really means a lot. Thank you. I was really excited about that because I didn't know there was a dress like that. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have it. And then I wanted to redo the look. And so thank y'all. I'm really excited about this video because I have changed up the format for how I'm doing this, because I was just so excited. I still am so excited over this collection. Like, I am going to be using this for a hot minute. There's so many beautiful shades. Once I get to the swatches and everything, please let me know which shade is your favorite, and if you'd like me to do any more looks with any of them, because I would love to do that. Okay, so I'm not going to take it all the way down right here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave that how it is so that I can blend it out and all the shades will be cohesive, or they'll just kind of blend together a little better. What I don't quite know the words that I'm looking for, but so that it'll just be a little more put together, I guess. So I'm going to clean this brush off, and I am going to go into the tiniest amount of Cosmic Blaze, which is a beautiful neon orange. But I'm really just going to use that as the shade that's going to diffuse Cephas. So I'm going to take a tiny bit on that same brush and just blend it out. It'll be a nice transition for Beetlejuice. I know that these are more fall shades as far as like Beetlejuice and Cephas, but those were definitely two of my absolute favorite shades of the mattes from the fall collection. And just going back and forth. And I'm not using just a whole lot. I'm just getting just a tiny bit on the brush. And I'm just going to blend out Cephas with it. I'm going to do the same thing underneath here. So just take it, blend it, and I'm going to extend it outwards just a tiny bit more. Okay, so about like that. And I'm gonna use the same brush quite a bit, so I'm just cleaning it off, and I'm gonna go into Beetlejuice, and I'm gonna start from this inner corner right here, and just start to blend right where it is nice and soft and diffused. And Beetlejuice, I feel like I've said this before, but there's something about it that kind of reminds me of like orange juice, but like in a good way. Like, kind of reminds me of like the Sunny D commercials from back in the day, if that makes any sense. My brain is just like, yeah, we're just gonna think of old cartoons and commercials from back when I was a babe. But I do quite love this shade. And I have some really exciting news. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen it already, but I have a collection coming out June the 9th with Manic Gems. It's called Spaced Out, and I'm really, really, really excited about it. I'm going to try to do a video with the collection when it gets here, and I'm so excited because I feel like I'm going to use shades from this collection and just kind of like get creative, because I love adding gems. They're my like favorite. But I was doing eye swatches last night because I want to do for a reel on Instagram is do like just like one shade, like each shade once over my eye. So my left eye is quite raw, and so I didn't feel like adding any gems because sometimes they don't. Sometimes it kind of makes my eye not like it when I take them off. So it's like no gems today. I am just taking this out just a little bit farther, and I'm going back and forth very, very gently. And for right now, I'm going to go back into Cephas and bring it back because I did lose a little bit of it, but that's alright. I'm going to put that in the crease. Just go back and forth. And I'm just going to take it out a little bit. And now I'm going to take a little bit more of that very bright orange and just kind of pat it and bring it back a little bit. I love Terra Cosmetics. Multi-chromes, duochromes, just all their sparkles. Oh my gosh, I love them so much, but their mattes are so, so good. Everything I've ever tried of them has been phenomenal. I'm going to switch over to the Makeup Shack T63 brush, and I'm going to go into Land on the Stars, which is definitely one of my favorite yellows. It's super bright and super cute, and it goes so beautifully with Beetlejuice. So I've got it on my fluffy brush, and I'm just going to start to blend everything out. Blend out Beetlejuice. Just get it nice and blended. Back and forth windshield wiper motions. And I'm going to extend it just a little bit farther. That way that bright yellow is nice and blown out. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and take some micellar water on a Q-tip to clean up my crease, then carve it out with some Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas and Fair. Alright, now for the part that I am so excited about. And when I said the part, it made me think of the Jetty Bone song, which breaks my heart every time, but I love it. Anyway, that song is called The Part. It's very sad. I am going to use this beauty right here, WR124. And the shift in it is like so pretty. I wish I could capture it. I'm going to have to go outside and try to here in a little bit if the sun's still out by the time I finish this. And Hovey and Storm. So this one right here and that one right there. I'm going to start out with this one though, because I felt like it looked cute. I'm going to start out with my finger with it. Oh! And this has a more flaky texture to it. I love the different textures of Terra Cosmetics eyeshadows. They're amazing. So I got that on with my finger, and I'm going to take this Cleona DF04 brush, and I'm going to work it into the crease to make sure I get all that base covered up. And I'm going to take it kind of onto Cephas. And I'm going to take it halfway. And I've cleaned that brush off, and I'm going to take Hovey and Sun and just pop it on to what is left. I'm really going to focus on adding it into the crease though before I try to go in and add it everywhere else. And then work on blending these shades together. I do apologize. I feel like my voice is cracking. My throat is just like not having it. Alright, I'm going to take a little bit more of WR124. Yeah, I think I'm starting to get it down. I'm trying to get all these shade names memorized. So I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to pop it into the center to work on blending these shades together. Make it more seamless. Now I do plan on at some point soon, hopefully, doing a reel with like my top 5 favorite multi-chromes from Terra Cosmetics, like maybe from each collection. I feel like that would be fun. I'm going to take a little bit more of Hovey and Sun and pop it on and make sure it is on half of the lid. Because sometimes I take them a little farther than I plan. But I feel like that looks good. And it's so pretty. I'm going to have it swatched in the swatch bit, but look at that. Oh, a bug. But it's so pretty, and so is WR124. Let me do that too, because I just am so excited about these. Well, all of them really, but that's them next to each other. So pretty. And I don't even know if because it's like I have 3 different lights plus my room light on. I don't even know if the shift was like that good on this. But it's like in the low light, oh my gosh, they're so dreamy. I keep some wet wipes over here just so that I don't get sparkles all over everything. But get sparkles all over everything anyway. Because if I'm not wearing sparkles, I don't feel like myself. So sparkles everywhere. Okay. I am going to take a little bit more of Cephas, and oh my gosh, there's sparkles all over the place, flying in the air. That's fine. I like when that happens. I think it's cool looking. But I'm going to take that T14 brush from the Makeup Shack, a little bit more Cephas, and I'm going to kind of pop it on the edge of WR124 to kind of get it nice and blended in so it's not super harsh and it looks fairly seamless. And looky there. It's so cute. So cute. Okay, I'm going to doodle on my eye. And I cannot talk through this, so I'm just going to get started. I'm going to use the Lashing Out Glam Dimensions Graffiti Liner. They are duochrome. Pretty shifty. I felt like that was kind of fitting. So I'm going to jump into it and yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go do the rest of my face and I'll be right back. Alright, so this is the finished look. What do you think? So I didn't really think this part through. I think right here I'm going to start doing the eye swatches. So I'm going to go ahead and start that. Excited. This new Terra Moons Cosmetics collection is absolutely beautiful. So with these shades, I have thought that I will do a regular 4 looks, 1 video kind of format with this. But the way that I have been liking to use multi-chromes lately, if I'm in a rush, I've been really burnt out. So I've been liking to do just a neutral and then put a multi-chrome over top. So I plan on whatever shades that I don't use in the 4 looks, I'll do this. And I won't have to, unless you want to, I won't have to do the tutorial for the eye paint. I can just put on that shimmer and it'll be like a swatch on the eye, and also super cute, super quick in case you want to add a little sparkle to your day. And I will also have swatches. So I've already rambled entirely too much. Let's jump into it. So I'm taking the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas in Fair and I'm applying it all over my lid and up to my brow. This is going to be the first look that I film with the collection, and I am planning on doing another one tonight. That's why I wanted to start off with this more simple but stunning look, because I don't want to have to wipe off all my makeup, and that'll make it easier. So I'm just putting this base all over my lid, and now I'm going to take a fluffy brush. So this is an old Wet n Wild one that I've had forever, and I like to use it to just blend that base into my skin, take it out a little bit, and then just get the base nice and blended. It just melts onto my lid so nicely and gives off a nice pigment. It makes my eyeshadows show their full potential. So now I'm going to take the About Face Matte Fluid Eye Paint in the shade Caplets. It is such a gorgeous, like, perfect neutral, and it's really, really easy. Look, I did this the other day. So, like, I'm just taking the applicator and I'm going to apply it onto my lid. And a little bit goes a long ways, I promise. That was probably too much, but that's okay. It's all about having fun. I love Terra Moons collections and getting to do videos with them and see how pretty they are. Then you just take your fluffy brush and you get it and you kind of just get the shape of your eye. You just have your natural eye shape. You can wing it out farther, whatever you want to do. That will be okay, because it's just like the perfect neutral. And work it into the crease, and look at how beautifully it blends. And it almost looks like I have on no makeup, which comes in handy when you're just in a rush. I will say with these, you do have to kind of work kind of quickly because they dry down pretty quick. But they're cry proof. I've tested that, I promise. So, you have it the way you want it, and I'm just doing back and forth windshield wipe motions and little half C shape blending motions. And so I was looking at these, and let me tell you, I'm so excited for what I'm going to do later. I have no idea what I'm doing later, but these are very inspiring. So the first shade I'm using is Jovian Sun, and it is a more orange, like burnt orange with a reflect of like yellow and green is how it looks. And I'm gonna get low light videos on my phone to include into this, I believe, because I feel like it would really show off the shift. But I'm taking my finger, and this also looks like it has like a hint of pink to it. So I have it on my finger, and what I'm gonna do is just swipe it. Look at that, and that's just one dip into that pan. You see? Isn't that just beautiful? I don't really like to touch my eyeshadows too much because I think of germs, but I'm constantly washing my hands. Like, anytime I'm doing makeup, if like I leave this room for any reason, I go and I wash my hands because I don't want to get anything, like any kind of germs in my makeup. But I have been really enjoying, like, if I'm uninspired or I'm in a rush, just put on some matte fluid eye paint and a multi-chrome. Beautiful. So this is the Iconic London. It doesn't really have a name, but it's a fluffy brush. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of blend out Hovey and Sun just along those edges there where I applied it, just to make it blend into the eye, or into that matte fluid eye paint real pretty, and it looks a little more put together. Just a little baby blend. And look at that. Probably one of my quickest looks on my channel. Okay, I'm gonna go do the rest of my face and I'll be right back. Alright, so this is the finished look. What do you think? I think it's cute. It was so quick. I usually wear lashes when I do a look like this, but I just kind of felt like I wanted to give Hovey and Sun its own moment. I didn't want to use lashes. This is part of like just doing a quick look, so that way I just felt like it would be quicker to do without lashes, and it would give Hovey and Sun its own moment to just shine. So there's going to be a few more looks, and there will probably be a few more looks like this. Let me know at the end of this video which look was your favorite. Alright, so this is the finished look. Originally, I had planned on doing every single shade like this, but the other night I was wanting to work on a reel. So I swatched 5 shades on this eye, and it's kind of like right in here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like super dry because it was raw, which is my fault because I was just like, I'm going to go in here and swatch every shade on my eye. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe just do a couple that I didn't show a whole lot of love to in the video, and then probably a couple of my favorites. Hopefully that'll be okay, but if you would like a tutorial like this or with multiple shades in the future, like in a week or 2 or 3 or whatever, then please let me know and I'd be willing to do that, because this really doesn't take me very long at all to do. It's super quick, and I feel like it's a good way to incorporate multi-chromes into your everyday makeup. I'm not super comfortable with everyday makeup, but this has been something that I've been doing like on the fly if I have no time for anything, and I still want to add like some color, because I feel like multi-chrome eyeshadows or duochromes are amazing to incorporate a pop of color into your everyday look. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go off to the next one, and please do let me know if you'd like to see more videos like this, like how this form is, like how this tutorial was, and yeah, I'd be super happy to do it for you. So that's how they look over a more neutral base. What do you think? Which shade is like your favorite? Which one is like the most eye-catching? So here I'm going to do the swatches on my arm. Aren't they so dreamy? I cannot. They're gorgeous. I cannot stop looking at them. This collection is just, I have no words. I feel like I always say I have no words, but I really just like, there's something, I don't know what it is about this collection, but it has me just like, I think it's because it's like a bunch of like pink and purple, and like the shifts are like next level, that they're just all beautiful, and you kind of wouldn't expect certain ones to shift the certain shades, and I love them so much. I really like how Galileo has like the reflex in it, and I like Mystic Mountain. I love, but Ultraviolet, as soon as I like looked at Ultraviolet, I was like, I'm gonna be using this one non-stop. It is divine. And then the other one, I feel like Star Formation, I really just feel like it, when I was looking, I was like, oh gosh, I feel like it's gonna be so obvious which ones that I'm gonna be reaching for the most, because Ultraviolet and Star Formation, I have them side by side on different rows, and I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, those are definitely ones. But then you have like Butterfly Nebula that is just like so pretty. It has like the greens, the like yellows, the pinks, like the iridescentness and whatnot, and then there's like Halo of Stars that's next level, and then you have Tatiana that reminds me of like a rainbow but surrounded by bubbles. It's just beautiful. This collection is seriously like, I don't know how Terra Moons Cosmetics does it every time, because every time that they come out with something, it's just like, It's beautiful. I love everything from them I've tried ever. I really just like cannot mention enough how much I love them. They're just amazing. The shifts, the formulas, the different textures, the everything, the dimensions you can get from just using one multi-chrome. And if you want to just like put it all over your eye, I'm so sorry if you hear my husband in there blowing his nose because I can hear it. But yes, I feel like everything that they come out with is like so, dare I say, out of this world. Everything is beautiful every time. I love the formula. I love the shifts. The shifts are just, I dream of makeup looks where I can incorporate Terra Moon's cosmetics somehow, some way, because I live for sparkles. Okay, so let me know what you'd like to see next in the comments down below. Do you want to see more with this collection? Are there any shades that you would like to see together from this collection? Are there any shades that you would like to compare with other shades? I do have last summer's collection, fall, winter, and spring in this one, and then I have some shades that I have that I'd ordered over time and whatnot. And if there are any that you would like to see compared, if I have shades that you want me to compare to what I already have from this collection, then I can do that. Anything like that, please let me know. And if you'd like to keep up with my awkward face and shenanigans while I'm not here on YouTube, I have all my social medias linked in the description box down below. Instagram, Twitter, maybe, I don't know how to do that. I think I do that. TikTok, which in the last week I have not really posted much. And yeah, anyway, places I usually just be when I'm not here, aside from Sunday, then you can check me out there. And if you would like to keep up with me while I am here on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. It means so much to me, and I can't thank you enough. I want to thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you think of this format for this collection. Do you like that I did like the shades on the more neutral base and then the swatches? Should I keep doing that? Let me know. Alright, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope that I'll see you in the next one. Bye!